Helping make the musicians be the best they can be is hugely important for me personally. I think when they put in the work, they're going to see the results, and I coach that into them all the time, and it does yield incredible results, because at the end of the day, I'm going to help champion these artists that I think are worth something great. My name is Dustin Blocker, and I'm the founder of Hand Drawn Records and Hand Drawn Pressing in Addison, Texas. So my dad's a Baptist music minister. My mom was a music teacher, so it was all singing all the time. And my mom's like a music book. You could just start popping off something, even in the middle of a restaurant, she'll start singing, which as a kid we were embarrassed by, of course. But older in life, I thought it was pretty cool, and they gave us a lot of rich history when it came to music. When I got into college, I met a good friend, and he played acoustic guitar, and he said, "Hey, let's have a little band," and we would just play acoustic guitar and sing covers at local bars in Denton. And after just a couple years, we kind of shed the cover band side and played and toured extensively for about a decade, all through Texas and the Midwest and in the Southwest. We had a few managers that would come and go, but it was really me motivating the rest of the band. So I was the singer and the booking agent and the promotion guy and the merch guy. You're not eating very well, you don't sleep very well. You're just essentially not making any money, and you're going from city to city, just hoping that the next one's a little bit better. I loved performing, but I decided I needed to grow up. I really need to do something that can make some money for the family. Transitioned at first as a teacher and then into the corporate world. Then I started Hand Drawn Records during that time period, but I would just do it on the weekends or late at night when I would get a chance. As I would learn things in the corporate world, how the world was working behind the scenes, I would apply those to the label, just incrementally and small with no budgets. What I wanted to do differently was have more of a communal sense to the entire label. So have the artists' trade services back and forth, meaning I would do things like graphic design, booking, promotion, web design for artists. Those artists would in turn have something they could tie their name to that would help them get a little bit bigger. 99% of what we did as a label was born out of me being a musician. One thing I would have loved as a musician was seeing the bands work together, go on tour together, perform together at shows in town, even record and collaborate with each other in the studio. About 2.5 years ago, I said, this is the time. The label's getting to a big enough spot. We need to make a big dive, and thankfully my wife was on board with it to let me really take this huge leap into doing music full-time. It's always scary doing something new, but fear is never really something that gets on my radar when it comes to opportunities. We are a niche boutique label, so we service about 10 independent artists. I really want the world to really find out about the artists that we work with. It's really personal on kind of a spiritual level. When I tie in with an artist and I think that they've got something special, it's also on a human level. I want to hang out with that artist, go to their shows, and be a part of their story. And that being said, I want other people to enjoy that too. I've always hung my hat on the phrase, a high tide lifts all boats. So the more that we can do as a label, the more it's going to help the artist grow, and it's going to put us into new opportunities on the business side. So when I was recording music as a musician myself, the last album I recorded in 2014 was when vinyl actually came onto my radar for me wanting to make my own record onto vinyl. Getting a small number of vinyl records pressed is very difficult. Small artists like my band would be 300 units, 500 units. We couldn't get a call back. We couldn't get anybody to return our email. But the idea in the back of my mind was always to get into manufacturing and own our own presses, but there was no presses in the entire world. And if you would try to go find one of these old machines that had been stowed away in a garage somewhere, they'd already been gobbled up by other pressing plants. And then I stumbled upon a bunch of engineers up in Canada that were building a first prototype for the first new fully automated record press. We actually bought it on faith. We bought it on spec, which is a huge risk for a small business. And installed it here in Addison. It's the first fully automated record press in over 35 years. And it was the first of its kind on the globe, and currently it's still the first one in production in all of the USA. So our record presses run 2 to 4 times faster than the old automated record presses. For those artists that were waiting 6 months, they're getting those records in their hands in under 4 weeks, which is just, it's unheard of. And that's one thing with hand-drawn pressing we said very early on. Regardless of how busy we get, we want to always have a seat at the table for the smaller guys. In the 60s and 70s, Dallas specifically was a major music hub, primarily for distribution, and a lot of labels were housed here. We were willing to put a stake in the ground to say, hey, there's manufacturing's back, it's here. I think my charge is really to help shine a spotlight on these really great musicians and the talent that's here in North Texas. And every day I kind of wake up with that, and it's either making the records itself or helping artists get on tour, helping promote artists.
I'll spend a day with you. There's trouble to get to.
Just really kind of show the world what's really happening here. I had one of our artists a couple years ago ask me point blank, why are you doing this? You're not making any money off of me. What is the point? And I said, I just want to see really good things succeed. And I think great art makes the world better. I just want to think, what is good? What is going to stand the test of time? And those are the things that I'm going to put all my effort towards.